Stephen Allen Music.
Today, we're in the key of D minor. We're at the BPM of 70 BPM, and today we're working on another trap beat. This one's really dark too on top of that, so this one's gonna be interesting because I left the beat super empty so that his vocals are gonna matter more than the beat. So he's gotta sort of tell a story, and he's gotta give a lot of emotion on how he's gonna drive it. So this one's about to be interesting. I did this on purpose as a challenge because a lot of the beats that we have, records that we have done already, there's a lot of moving parts. So these next few that we're gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that the production is dumbed down, stripped down to the bare minimum, and see how he reacts and how he writes differently to these type of beats. That's what he asked for. So we're about to see what's about to happen. Let's get it. Hold up. Key tip in the studio. I bought some honey for the studio. Organic honey. This man trying to drink it.
Trying to get that voice in. I changed my character up. Yeah. There we go. Got my character up. Yeah.
Hell no. Alright, you ready?
Yeah. Hold up. Before we do it, my bad. I'm doing the shh part.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Alright, dub that.
Alright. I didn't catch that.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Listen to it. We just completed the hook. I structured out an outro just based on his ad-libs alone. I just made a small little outro so we don't have to worry about the outro. So all that's left is the intro, both verses, and the bridge. So we still got a long way to go. But like I say all the time, write in sections, and then in no time, the song will be completed. So we're going to move on and just keep the session going. Always stay within the vibe of the beat. Like this one, his tone, perfect. He's not over energetic because the beat is dark and it's slow. So he's matching the beat, which is perfect. So when you hear beats, think of how you want your voice to sound before you start writing, and you write according to that. Now, if it doesn't work out, you know, you always just maneuver a little different, restructure how you want to do things. But when you hear the beat, you should automatically hear your voice and how you want to deliver. So every song you do should be a slightly different type of delivery. I know we all have a certain sound, but when you have drastic different types of beats that you're jumping on, there should be definitely a different character for each one of them type of beats. With that said, we're gonna keep moving and move on to the next section, which will be the verses.
Stephen Allen Music.
Nah. Investment. True. Grind. Facts. Ha. Shh.
Alright. The first verse is done. Only thing we have left is the second verse and the bridge still left to go. Like I said, one section at a time. I got a songwriting tip for you. Always make sure your verse leads into the next part. So if you are doing like pop, you know it needs to lead into the pre-chorus and then the chorus. Or if you're doing hip hop, it definitely needs to lead into the hook. So always pay attention to how you end your verse. Your last 4 bars, last 2 bars should be a transition into the next section. So always keep that in mind when you're writing, how you want to end your verses. It's very important how you begin it and how you end it. The middle, play more around with it, but the beginning and end, you need to be very strategic about how you want to actually fill out those bars. Moving on to the next section.
Moving silence, get what you want, forget what they saying. Moving silence.
Alright, you ready?
Yes. Shh. Dream. Scheme. You? Cream. Bow. So much fun. Never.
Verse 2 is completed. So now all we have left is one major section, and that's the bridge. So the first thing we're gonna do is listen from top to bottom and think of the bridge when it gets to that section to see how we're going to transition into it. That way, we're not just doing something wild and crazy that doesn't fit, and it actually goes with the flow. You always want to keep starting over from top to bottom for each section that you complete, so that you know that you're on point and the flow of the song is going in the direction you want to go. That way you're not surprised at the end after you record everything. You're like, don't really sound the way I want it to sound, or it's not the energy you was looking for. You always check. You always keep rechecking and checking. As it progresses, it should be going exactly the way that you envision it. This whole process is about vision. You gotta have vision before you start even writing anything. Once you hear the beat, get a vision in your head of the storyline that you want to convey, what type of delivery you want to do, and the process of how you want things to be recorded. Those should always be thought of before you even write anything down. What I decided to do for the bridge, instead of recording a bridge, I chopped up parts of the hook for the bridge, and I also did the same exact thing for the outro, because the words are already there. So I just took the words that I needed out of the hook and just created a bridge, and I did it for the hook, for the outro as well. We're gonna leave the intro blank to just set the mood, and then it's just gonna come in with the verse. So right now, what we're about to do is we're about to just listen from top to bottom, make sure the song flows, make sure it sounds the way he wants it to sound, and then that'll be the end of the session. We move on to the next record.